shit at the pilot.
He stepped up, he's hit.
Niggas be broken, be sober, but still talking shit like
And he
they got
fumbles the football at the
They say
end.
that they got it, some money, these niggas gon' say that they got it.
Oh my God.
Get out with the key to success, and these niggas gon' blame it on talent. They don't wanna see you win. They don't wanna see the race. You don't wanna see a bitch caught up in the stars like she out of space. Mention that they kinda at the mention and I'm running out of space.
We are back with another episode of the City of Brotherly Love Sportscast. Your co-hosts Dylan and Blake. As always, hit them likes and subscriptions to our YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're back after 2 weeks. We didn't have an episode last week just because we were taking care of some things. Blake's birthday, get that week off, reset, and get grinding, give us some more topics to talk about, which means including the fucking Phillies that are on fire, Sixers holding a lead, Flyers dumping, and we'll talk a little bit about what we think the Eagles are going to do with the 12th pick, since I don't think we got to talk about them trading back last week. So we'll start off with the Phillies. So they're off today. They started off 5-1 against two teams that are supposed to be World Series contenders. Sweep the Braves, take 2 from the Mets. Pitching and bullpen have been phenomenal. Besides for Nola struggling a little bit yesterday, but when that happens, that's when the bats take over, and that's exactly what happened yesterday. So I'm super pumped, dude. So to me, I think the bullpen has been the biggest effect so far. Obviously, the difference from last year, that's obvious. But, what are you seeing that can make this team a contender higher than people think?
It's such a – I'm going to give you 2, and you just said 1, the bullpen. Because let's think about it. So I don't think Nola – we're not going to get into debating about it, but I don't think Nola is really an ace, but I think he's a top 15 pitcher. I don't think he's really a true number 1. He's the capability, I guess. He's shown glimpses, but he's just not there sometimes. It's still the beginning of the year. He struggled. He threw 90-something pitches through 4 innings. Yeah. The bullpen comes in for the last 5. Connor Brogdon, I think, gave us, 3 innings or 2?
Yeah, 2, I think, yeah.
I watched the whole game. I just forget. Kid's fucking money. I don't know where this kid came from, but, we're only 6 games into the year, but he's 3-0, hasn't let up 1 run. I forget how many strikeouts he has. He has a decent amount. He throws some heat. So I think that's such a out of nowhere factor. I didn't even hear about this kid in the spring, really. I kept up with spring, but I didn't hear about him that much. I knew he was on the roster. You got Connor, you got Archie, you got Alvarado, you got Hector, and who's the other guy? I can't pronounce his name.
Kinsler.
Kinsler. And he's not bad either. He's pretty good. Vinny V, we need to fucking do away with that bum.
Bring JoJo up.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing yet, but yeah, honestly, we're figuring it out because he's horrible. I was at that game, as you know. He is trash because we could technically be 6-0. It was a winnable game. It was a very winnable. Would we have won? I don't know, but it was a winnable game. So that's the first thing I think, though. The bullpen is magnificent. They've been great. It's still early, but this team's going to be good this year. They have such a different feel than previous years when they started off winning or when they were in first at all under Kapler. I think the low-key piece, and we're all going to be talking about him right now, is Rhys Hoskins. I don't hate Rhys. I do like him. I will show my support for him. He's a head case. He's a mental case. But maybe with Girardi, he'll be different. His stance looks more relaxed, dude. He's seeing beach balls right now. What did he say? 5 or 6 doubles as a homer.
Yeah.
He needs smarter base running, but besides that, dude's a beast right now. His glove's average, but he's good. He's good enough for a first if his bat's there, dude. If he can be what he is right now for the whole year, I'm not saying you have to keep going 300 every game, but be right around 275, 300 all year, smacking bombs this year for us. He's the low-key slept-on piece this year by far.
Absolutely.
Just to get back to that 2017, 2018 form where he's just dropping dingers.
Yeah, he's obviously ripping the top off the ball. And the thing with Vinny V, the only reason they like to hold on to Vinny V is because of nights like Nola. When nights the starting pitcher can only go 3-4 innings. Vinny V's the arm out of the bullpen that can go 4 innings if you need him to. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that is the only reason I feel like they're holding on to him, because you don't have any other arms in the bullpen that can do that. Like a starting pitcher move to the back. I don't know about this Coonrod guy. They say that he kind of did a little. He pitched a little bit when he was in AAA, but
Where did he come from too? Because I remember saying this show. I was like, well, that's a hell of a name, Coonrod.
Yeah.
I never even heard of this dude. I'm like,
yeah. So
I'm like,
between
who is
that
this?
and then, so I don't know. I'm on the JoJo train. I would love to drop Vinny and bring JoJo up, but I think for that length of an arm in the bullpen, I don't think it's going to happen, because I think Vinny V's going to end up staying.
They honestly just showed though that, God forbid, if Nola was out, I don't think it's really, because Nola usually always goes like 6 or 7, 90% of the time. I think it's going to be more for Chase Anderson and more. But yeah, I don't know. I think they just showed that they don't even need to go into them. I know you got to mix your arms up every other day. They like to rotate, even though I think those guys should be able to throw every day personally. They pitch a couple innings. But, that dude Brogdon's a stud. If he's like this all year, Archie's a beast. I mean, he let up a run yesterday, but really –
that Alvarado sinker, though.
Alvarado's – he's hitting high 90s on a pitch that is off speed. It makes no sense, dude.
Dude, his slider
so
hit 95. He threw a 95
That's unheard
slider.
He's just so nasty, dude. I
That
fucking love
crazy.
that dude. He's one of my guys. I love him. But and Nurse, I mean, a lot of people are complaining already because they're like, I get so scared when he comes in. I'm sure there's going to be a couple blown saves this year, Hector Nurse, and we're going to look back. We're going to rip him. We're going to be upset, but he's done good. You can't complain right now. He's been good. Maybe there's probably someone better out there that they could throw into the closer role, but I think for now, he's good, dude. People just like to hate the hate. Nurse is a good pitcher. I think the new pitching coach so far, it's making a difference. It's made a difference with Eflin, and it's made a difference with these guys.
That's
and even
the biggest
Eflin.
thing.
You know what I mean?
Eflin's huge.
We'll see what he's like in his next start, because he's going to go against the Braves again. And I feel like their bats are going to be better, but our bats haven't showed out till yesterday, really, and that's a scary sight.
Well, he went 7 strong the first time. Fucking threw a 1.29 ERA or some shit, like under 1 whip.
And think about it. He had a 25 pitch first inning.
Yeah.
Like, that's a wild. Like,
and he still went
like,
7.
Yeah, and he still won 7. Like, he bounced back after that first inning. That's my guy. I love that. If everyone knows that. And they said it. They were talking about it on the radio. They were saying, like, for whatever reason, like, Eflin, I guess, like, kind of knows himself. They were saying, like, he's a low ball pitcher, like that sinker, and that pitch should be thrown lower in their strike zone. Well, all this time they've been having him throw it higher in his strike zone. Well, now this new pitching coach just came in, and you could tell in the first game he was throwing a lot of pitches lower, and look at the difference it was making. He was just retiring Braves batter after Braves batter after that first, and then
with this new pitching coach, he's trying to get Nola to work this cutter in now too. So that's kind of what he's. I don't know. I think they kind of fucked him up. He's definitely not used to when. I think JT, him, and are still trying to get that relationship with that pitch included. So
and Nola looked great in his first game. He had one little slip up with that home run to Panda. He just threw him a couple meatballs down the plate. I didn't know what he was expecting. I think like you can just tell with Nola, like when he gets tired or like when he gets high up in the his pitch, I guess. I don't even know, like
pitch range.
Yeah, like he starts losing a little bit of control. Like I'm not saying like it's like crazy like Vinny V, like I'm gonna walk everybody. It's like his pitches aren't hitting the spots they should. And that will probably come to him as the year goes, more starts under his belt. I do love Nola too. I need better than that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
I know exactly what you mean, but I think the two for this team, I have my final 2 things are going to be like game season changers. Like the team's not on them, but like if these people are good, we're going to be in the playoffs. Like between Hoskins and Eflin, and then I would even throw McCutchen in there a little bit, because if Eflin pitches like he did the first game, you don't have to do it every game. You're the third pitcher. You're not the so-called ace, which like you're saying, people throw that term around a lot for just because it's the number one pitcher of the team. And then if Hoskins is ripping the ball and if Kutch can be a leadoff, maybe a double eventually, but I don't know because this is a playoff team. Dude, from 1 to 6 is just scary. And then after that, you still got Segura, who usually bats at a very high average. And then you got a mix of whoever's in center field at 8 right now. But then you still got to deal with Zach Wheeler batting. So
apparently this dude loves to rake. Not only pitch gems, but rake. He was money the other day too. That dude has his stuff going.
Inverse
Hopefully
tomorrow,
he builds
so.
off that. Oh my god, we're gonna smack Chris Morton.
I know. I'm excited because I like what we got. Now we got Braves and Mets on the road, right?
Yeah, we got a 3-game with the Braves and 4-game with the Mets. And this is what was huge about it. I heard them talking about it. I thought it was kind of interesting because you're talking about the first 13 games of the year is all Braves and Mets. Well, we sweep the Braves. I don't think anybody expected that, but it was awesome. Then we probably should have swept the Mets, but we take the series and be 5-1 is huge. People were like, what would make you hype for this? I mean, hype regardless. What would make you really crazy and feel good about this season to go in these first 13 games? I was thinking 8-9 wins. But you know what, dude?
10.
We can take another 2 from the Braves. I think it's very possible because Wheeler has to win though, and then hopefully Eflin. If not, hopefully more. But then we'll have our starting 3 going against the Mets.
The Mets. Yeah.
Chase Anderson should start that series. And then we'll have Nola, we'll have Wheeler, and we'll have Eflin to finish that series. So it's very possible we go, there's something about 7 games, 5-2. It's very possible. So 10-3 would be crazy.
Unbelievable.
Because we play the Mets a couple of times in these first 2 months. And I hate that fucking stinking New York team. I cannot stand them. I cannot stand them. They're my most hated team in all of sports, probably. My hatred grows from I used to love Lindor, but after watching him in that jersey, I hate him. I think I saw him when they were down 7-1. He walked and he started chirping at our bench bro, look at the scoreboard, you bum. You just got paid all that money and you're not even batting 200 yet, you crumb.
Fucking dork.
Same with Pete Alonso. I'll smack that ugly dude. I'll smack.
Hey, I'll give perks to Alonso. He's the fastest.
He's a beast.
70 home runs.
He's a beast. No doubt. He's a beast. But I don't like him either.
That's because he's on the Mets. So, whatever. I hate anybody on those teams. So, super excited for this team. Fucking pumped. But another team we're excited for, because playoffs are right around the fucking corner. The boys.
It's 22.
So, I think after last night, we're a half game out of the 1 seed now.
Harden's out the next 10 days.
What was that?
Harden is out the next 10 days.
Harden is out the next 10 days. Basically, the Nets are showing me that they can't fucking stay healthy. We're 2-0 since Joel came back. Games that he played in. Dropped 35 on fucking – I don't even know who the fuck plays center for the Celtics anymore. But season sweep, it ended. Season swept the Celtics 4-0. My biggest thing that I want to point out with this is us and the Nets. I think the Bucks are going to stay right there, but they're going to stay 500. So they're just going to stay 2-3 games back. We have the 23rd hardest schedule remaining in the NBA. The Nets have the 6th.
But I think our last 9 games, if we get to May and we're still in first or we're a game out, those last 9 games are just money. They're
because we end with 3 games with the Magic or something.
They're all teams that are either scrubs, I think, or out of playoffs or fringe playoffs. Now you can lose those games. That happens. It happens in all sports, but not this team, I think. And with Joe back, I think the only other worry is Joe playing back-to-back nights because I don't think they're really going to play him back-to-back nights down the stretch. You got to – and people are going to be annoyed about that, but you got to give and take a little bit because of
save for playoffs.
And really, nobody wants to talk about it. I feel like you hear it on the radio, but I don't see a lot of people posting about it. Let's talk about Ben. Dude's been cold since the All-Star break. He's been cold. And honestly, he looked good last night. I didn't watch, but that's why I heard or not last night, 2 nights ago. I heard he was kind of back to himself, but that's because Joe was back. Yeah. which is fine. He's always going to have to be that, kind of Robin to the Batman. You know what I mean? And that's fine, dude. But 12 points tonight isn't good. Like last night, it was acceptable. But I'm feeling like come playoff time, it's not going to be acceptable. And his play has been very shitty. Like he's under 40. He's not like under. I think he's like under. He's under 50% on like layups. I think it's even lower. I think it might be like 45. They were reading off his stats one day for a guy who doesn't shoot the ball, and his main thing is supposed to be aggressive and get to the rim and score. He has been bad with layups.
I feel like he just throws it up sometimes.
Yeah, dude. Like I don't know what his problem is. Like I like Ben. I'm not trying to criticize him because we're still winning games. Toby's been a stud. He had like an unreal game like 2 games ago. Like he had like 32. It was Joe's first game back. He had like 32. Like I'm fine with where we're at. I'm confident with this team, but he just needs to get it together, man. Like especially on the nights Joe's going to be out, because I'm starting to kind of believe in that theory because they're talking about, I'll look it up for myself, where every January Ben steps it up, makes the All-Star game. After the All-Star game, he just drops off. And it's starting to kind of show, dude. He was snapping before the All-Star break. He was averaging like 24 a game at one point.
42-point game.
He had a 42-point game. He was literally like over around like 20 every game. He had a couple games where he had like high 18s. Like, just give me 17 to 18. Like, there's a 5 extra, or get to the line. Like, do something. He needs something because it's frustrating. And I'm not gonna sit here and ridicule him too much. I do love Ben. I criticized him earlier this year, but he needs to pick it up. I know what he provides everywhere else. People are always like, oh, he's a good defender. He's elite. I know what he does. You don't need to keep telling me that, but if this dude would just score, be a top 5 player in the NBA, he might be the best. If he had a shot, he'd be the bbest. You can't tell me with the glimpses we saw and how his form looks at times, he wouldn't be a better shooter than Giannis. I know people are like, whoa.
I think he would be.
He would. I think he would be too, dude. And it's like such a tease. He's like such an asshole. Like at the end of the games, he's knocked down threes a couple times. Like, come on, fucking dude. If that doesn't give you confidence, he's never going to shoot, because like the fact that you had the confidence to shoot a late 3, even if it was when we were losing and most likely the game was over, it's like you hit it. It's not like you missed. You hit it. That should just
literally
be like, yo, you like let me fucking not even saying shoot more threes, just shoot the ball
multiple times too.
And it wasn't like they were ugly shots. They were like ones that went in so clean. Like it wasn't like, I don't even know, like some ugly ass bounce and they got like, I don't get it, dude.
Like he's swishing them in with like a nice ass stroke too. Like I don't fucking know.
Yeah, he's a frustrating athlete. I'm gonna tell you now, we lose in the playoffs. There's gonna be a lot of criticism going on him unless Joe and Toby don't show up. But another thing is with the seeding, if we get the first seed, we're gonna have a very easy path to playoffs probably.
Yeah.
As long as like somehow Miami doesn't fall there, our first 2 rounds should be like the Celtics, which, dude, yeah, I get it. Brad Stevens, they still
we won't sweep them, but
we'll probably beat them in 5.
Yeah,
we'll probably beat them in 5. They could maybe push to 6, but I don't think it would be that hard of a series. And then your second round would probably be
Charlotte,
like Atlanta. Yeah, the Atlanta Hawks are, and that means the Nets would have to go through the Bucks, and they might have to go through the Heat.
That's why the 1 seed is so prime.
So yeah, dude, it's so important right now, dude. It's so important. If that happens for us, imagine the Nets going through two brutal series where they play the Heat and then the Bucks. Yeah, that would be fucking nuts, because then they would have to. They would literally be a struggle for them. Like they would literally be like, that's if the season worked out that way. They would play, or even the Knicks. The Knicks, like they're tough games.
They're volleyball.
Yeah, that's why. Like they're not a good team. They beat you up. So like I would even take them against the Nets. Nets might beat them in 4 or 5, but I'll take it if they had to play them. It wouldn't be the same as like the Heat.
Just
to
beat the shit out of them for 2 series before we have to play them.
Yeah, agree.
So I mean, and my biggest thing right now is, so obviously there's no timetable for George Hill right now. They just came out and like Doc was kind of like hesitant to talk about when he was going to play. Honestly, I just hope he's back for playoffs at this point.
Which is so fucking mind-boggling, bro, because it's like you traded for this guy and you said he seemed closer than Embiid.
Yeah.
And now it's like, what is going on? Like you made this trade. You missed out on Lowry. I guess clearly Lowry was like the overhaul for him was a lot, so I'm not mad. You missed out on other guys though, and it's like what are you doing? What do you go explore out there? Like a
Mhm.
Wayne Ellington maybe, or I think he got waived, but we need like a backup floor kind of. And I know
So this is
like
what
we
I was
might
gonna
get
say.
shit for
Ignas
this.
Brzdeikis got waived today, so now we have an open roster spot.
Would you like? I don't know if it would happen, but like maybe like a Kelly Olynyk,
I
a
mean,
dirty hippie.
did he get cut or is he going to get bought out?
I think he is. I know he. I think he got traded, and I think he's gonna be like. I think you're gonna be able to give him a veteran buyout, like a minimum, a
Hmm.
vet minimum, and then you guys said like Wayne Ellington would be nice at taking him. I don't know, dude. I'd take like anybody at this point because I don't
They're
know
going to
what's gonna
fill it.
happen. I don't know. It's frustrating, honestly, that this
It's
happened with George
frustrating
Hill.
because you see these other contenders making moves, like the Nets going Aldridge and fucking Griffin, and you got the Lakers going Andre Drummond, you got the Clippers going DeMarcus Cousins, like, and we're just
I
sitting on our
had
fucking thumbs.
I had someone argue with me. It was like in my chat with Jim McColl and CJ. I think it was Jim, and I was like, "Would you take Boogie?" And he was like, "Nah." Like I like brush it off like so lightly. I'm like, you can play him with Embiid, first of all. He can
Yeah,
knock down the three. He's not the same Boogie he was 2 years ago because all the injuries that happened, but he can stretch. He'll give you tough minutes. And you can play him at the same time with Embiid if you want even more height. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and we missed out on that. And I'm not saying I'm mad about it, but like I even asked Squaw. Squaw was like, I would fucking totally be about that. Like that would be such a nice move. Like I was like, dude, it sounds crazy, but I'm like, what like I love Morey, but like, what are you doing, bro? Like, I
He's
don't
at the
know.
Phillies game.
Yeah, hopefully they fucking win it all, honestly, or something, or get to the finals. Like, I don't
You
know.
have to show me.
I think they're missing. Like this could be a year to win it all, and they're kind of I think like slack and like brushing it off. Like I think they do believe it, but I think like there's a lot of fans that are like accepting like oh I'm fine with like the Eastern Conference Finals. I get what the Nets are, but I want the finals, and I think we're good enough to beat the finals. So that's what I'm pushing for. It's not like we're some fringe contender. We're like a legitimate contender who should be
Absolutely.
in the finals. Like we can be there.
Hmm. I completely agree. And like you said, I think a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Eastern Conference Finals, this is the farthest we've got. It's a stepping stone. No, it's really not a stepping stone because that whole Nets team is going to come back.
Yeah,
Like they're all coming back. They're not
at
going
least
anywhere. They're
another
still going to
year.
be
At
just
least
as good
another.
next year. I mean, the only people that they're going to lose is like those role Aldridge and Griffin and stuff, and then they'll just do the same thing next year, pick up
Mm-hmm.
other people that are just as good.
Yep.
So, um, I mean, unless they try to bring everybody back if they win, but I agree. I think it's finals. Even if finals lost, it's finals or bust. Make it to the
Yeah.
finals or bust this year,
That's where I'm at.
and it's tough. But that's why that way, like we said, I think that one seed is prime because if we have to beat the Bucks and the Nets and then the Lakers or the Clippers or the Jazz, that's tough. And personally, I think the East is going to be harder than our finals matchup.
It depends. I don't know because the West is damn good. Like I think if we play the Clippers, I think we beat them. Um, I think a lot of people are over the Lakers right now because LeBron's out, but you know damn well when LeBron gets back, that
But they're
is the
dropping.
best.
Their playoff run's going to be hard.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
it's
going to be an
LeBron.
easy playoff run.
It's crazy because I agree, but I can't tell you how many times I'm like, well,
I
I
know.
can't. It's like the same thing with Brady. You're like 1 year,
Like,
you
oh, he's
learn your
done.
lesson.
He's done.
You learn your lesson eventually, and that's the same thing with LeBron, except LeBron comes up short more than Brady does. That's all it is to it.
Yeah.
But he'll be in the finals probably. I'm sure. I hope he's not. I'd rather not see. Actually, I would love to beat his ass in the finals. Already beat Brady. Love to beat him.
Yeah.
So
That would be sick. I don't know. I just think for them, I just think they're only a game ahead of the 6 seed right now. They're the 5 seed right now. So they drop to
is
the
eight
6 seed. That means they're going to get the Nuggets in the first round, the Clippers in the second round, and the Jazz in the Western Conference Finals. That means you got to run through fucking, and then whoever comes out of the East, us, Bucks, or Nets. Like, that's tough.
is AD back yet?
No, They said that
I
he
don't
should
even.
be back. I think they were saying this
even,
weekend now.
I think even when he comes back, he's not good enough to carry them.
No, he's not.
Maybe he does. Maybe he proves me wrong, but their supporting cast isn't that great. Like, they're good when LeBron's there. Like, KCP, good when LeBron's there. Schroeder, he's a beast. I like him. I heard, didn't he turn down like a crazy contract from the Lakers?
96, 4-year, $95 million he denied.
I mean, after seeing some money that like KCP got and other scrubs,
Well,
I don't blame
exactly,
him.
yeah. And then Montrez has not been as good as he was with the Clippers.
Honestly, good because I don't like that dude.
He's a dork. He's like just a bigger like Lance Stevenson. He's just a troll.
Yeah, and he's horrible at it. He's not even good at it.
I know. Well, he got suspended or he got kicked out of the other game because him and somebody were fighting. No, it was the most recent game. Somebody flipped Schroeder on like his back. Oh, it was OG Anunoby. That's what it was. But I mean, all right. So I just got one last thing for that is so with this, we understand Joel's probably not going to play back-to-backs, right? It's the same thing. I mean, Harden's not going to play back-to-backs now. KD's not going to play back-to-backs. Jokic is. Can Joel still win MVP if he's dropping 35 a game?
If he's dropping 35 a game, I think he should absolutely be in the conversation because
even if
the
he's
best
missing 22 games, though.
Yeah, I think it's bullshit that they like put all that in effect. I get like your best ability is your availability, but I mean the only thing I can only other say about it is if anything, Joe's stock kind of fell because we just went 7-3 on a 10-game road trip without him.
Yeah, exactly.
Or was it 10 games without him? I don't know. So like that kind of like hurts your stock because I know he's MVP and I still think this whole ship goes down if he's not here. You know what I mean? It burns, it sinks, like no doubt. But like if we were to play to play playoffs without Joe, probably maybe against arguably any team. I don't know if we win really a series, maybe one. So he's very important. It's like probably the same thing with Jokic or anybody else, but I think he definitely deserves MVP, dude. He's just doing it on both ends. He's so dominant. I can't wait to play the Bucks again and him to be in that game, dude. I hate Giannis. That dude's such a dork. Like, I cannot stand him, dude. He like go sit on our logo again. Do it when Joe plays, you motherfucker.
Yeah, Joe will probably fucking smack the shit out of him. I mean, I think the same thing. I think personally, like you said though, going 7-3 kind of takes like the most valuable player out of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like if you go 3-7, it shows how important he is. But I think he still can, and that's only because Jokic is the only factor there. Because Dame is falling off a little bit right now, and LeBron's been hurt. Harden's been hurt. Harden just lost it by game. He's gonna miss like fucking 5 or 6 games or something. So he's gonna lose it there because he was already on like the fringe. They didn't know what to do with him. So to me, it's gonna be him or Jokic, which is beastie that it's gonna go to a center. I think that's fucking sick. But I think he can, but I think he's gonna have to keep it consistent. 35, a few 40-point games, and we'll see how it goes. Though we'll play it by year, you know. Other than that, the Flyers are falling, and they're falling pretty fast. I mean, they took an overtime win from the Bruins, but that sucks because they still snag a point, and then they take that 4-2 loss from what the game. They were pretty dominant from what we were hearing. So, still sitting 5 points behind, running out of time. Can't go on a winning streak. It seems like they're win loss like right now. So you think this team's falling too hard, too fast, or?
Yeah, like I'll never rule shit out in sports. Like if you're there, borderline close to playoffs, because I mean they snuck in the last game of the 2010 playoffs when they made the finals run. I'm not holding on to that hope by any means. Anybody listening, I'm not holding on to that hope. But I know anything's possible, and I can't just. It's a different type of year though, where like the seeding is so close for everybody in playoffs. It seems like the seeding is so close, and then maybe a few other divisions. It's like that last spot's technically up for grabs, but our division's so tough that like those top 4 really just kind of like are running away with it. I'm surprised Boston is as close as they are. I would have had them top 2 in our division. Yeah. Really, I would have had Pens 4th or 5th maybe with us because I thought we even had a chance for top 2. But I would have had like us, the Isles, and Bruins all top 3. Capitals, Pens, and Bruins all battling out for that 4th. It is what it is. They shot themselves in the foot, especially after COVID really hit. I think that's when this team took a turn for the worse. That's when it got real bad. They lost their rhythm, should cramming games in the days, had like 1 3-day break, and that just happened recently. I don't even know if they practiced or not. So they actually they played good the night we were all at my house Saturday. That Isles game, they deserved to fucking win that game.
Yeah.
Lost that one in overtime.
Shootout,
Played the Bruins, beat them in overtime. Sucked to give them a point too, but beat them. And then they were down 2-0 when I was at the Phillies. I checked it. Hey, tied 2-2, and I'm like, damn, they're dominant. They're doubling their shots, dude. And some rookie goalie comes out of nowhere and is like a 40 fucking save. Godly performance. It just always happens against us for whatever damn reason. And the Bruins win. If we win that game, even if it's in overtime, I'll give them another point because then we play them again and then we have a chance to take another game against them. But I really don't see anything changing. They would have to beat the Isles tonight. Need a Bruins loss in whoever Bruins are playing, and then they play the Bruins again like Saturday, and they would need to beat the Bruins again. Possible, yes. Going to happen, no. And the trade deadline's Monday. You could see a guy like Scott Lawton on his way out, which sucks. He's a free agent at the end of the year. Love the dude. With the expansion draft coming up, I guess it kind of makes it easier because it's one less dude you don't have to protect. Plus, you got this big surge of youth talent coming up. Like maybe that opens the door for Morgan Frost to get big minutes next year, which everybody says this kid's ready. I mean, he got hurt this year, so maybe like even guys like Michael Raffle going finally. I don't know about who else. Like I saw there was like 3 potential targets. I didn't even click on the link, but my guess is would be like, I think Sanheim's here to stay. I think Myers is here to stay, sadly, unless they do make it. If they're buyers at the deadline, I don't know what the fuck they're doing because
if they're buying, then
if they were like tied in games played with the points where they are now, I'd be a little more confident and be like, all right, you can probably buy because then it's like you need to literally gain.
You could buy your way into the playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, you can maybe buy, and even the Isles, they just got sick. I mean, they're way above us, but they added more depth. They're all in to win a cup, and they're probably going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals this year. I don't know though, because the Caps are sick. I don't see the Pens getting there, and I don't see the Bruins getting there. I think everybody raves about how the Bruins have that magical top line. But what has that top line gotten you in the last couple of years? They got you to 1 Stanley Cup, and your whole team was loaded, and they're not going to the Cup. That's all I know. They're not. They're not even stiff in the conference finals. They'll be out first or second round.
I agree completely. I just like you said. I think then the Islanders are definitely all in, but trading for Zajac and the Palestrinieri or something like that. 2 forwards.
Kyle Palmieri. He's a beast.
And I think with 5 points back now, and with the shortened season, already shortened season, it's hard. It's going to be hard. There's only 21 games left or something, or 20 games left or some shit like that, and you got to go like 13-5-2 or some shit.
I was about to say just like maybe 13-7 to give yourself a shot.
Yeah,
that's like banking on what the Bruins are doing. I would even have to look at and see what the Bruins have. I mean,
you have to beat the Bruins in wins by 3 or 4 wins, for sure. And that's it. That's if they fall off. The Bruins could go on a hot streak.
If we somehow won the night, the Bruins play the Capitals, and we would need the Capitals to win the night.
And we would be 3 points back, and they would still have 2 games in hand, though.
Well, they still have 2.
Yeah.
Or 1. Oh, I guess 2 because we play 1, they play 1. But, you cover the gap a little more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Our goal different. And the Rangers are right there, too. They're tied with us. And our goal
they're ahead of us. They're tied with us, yeah.
They're ahead of us because of goal differential, I think. But
the Rangers, they're young. I think the Rangers are going to be good in a few years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see who the remaining Bruins games. Washington, Philly. Then they got Buffalo once. Islanders. Washington, Buffalo again for a 3-game series. So
Damn.
right there, they got Buffalo, New Jersey for a decent amount, and I don't even think we got anything like that where we play some scrubs really.
I think we're done
We
Buffalo
got
already.
we got one Buffalo game left,
Hmm.
a couple Devils games, and then we got a couple more Pitt and Washington and a few Rangers games. So our schedule is pretty tough. Their schedule is pretty tough. They got a lot of easy cakewalk games in there, so there's no way. We're just looking on paper. It's just like you got to sell at the deadline, which is Monday. So it'll be intriguing. It was a tough season, but maybe they bounce back better next year. It sucks. Like I'll still be here till the end. I always am. I watch till the ends.
Yeah.
I usually go to games. Not this year. Wasn't
We
selling
still
my
need
soul.
to go to one if we can.
Yeah, maybe like
But
the last
we'll
one
be
or
here.
something.
We'll be talking about them till the end. We'll even talk about playoffs a little bit, because that's just how we are, who we are, and what we're gonna do. See if it's more sadness or turn into some happiness to try and make that final push into the playoffs. One last thing that I want to talk about that I just want to throw around is because I know one of these weeks coming up, we're gonna do like a top 12 for the NFL draft, like a top 12. How do we think it's going to plan out type thing? So we didn't get to do a podcast last week, and right the beginning of last week, the Eagles traded the 6th pick for the 12th pick and a first-round draft pick for next year. So now with that 12th pick, I feel like there's a lot of names up there. Like they still think Devontae Smith could drop. I think J.C. Horn is the big name popping up now at cornerback. Sign Jordan Howard to 1-year deal. Eric Wilson, I like that signing a lot. But for this 12th pick, what's the biggest need? And do you think Howie's even going to make the right fucking pick?
No, he's not going to make the right pick. And I don't know who he's going to take. Surtain's there, which I think the Cowboys are all in on Surtain. I think a lot of people are getting crazy with it. Cowboys know what they need. They need a secondary. Yeah. That's for damn sure. They got somewhat. They don't really got the craziest pass rush, but they probably got enough to get them done, get the job done. They still have Lawrence. You got that freak athlete on your D line. They got some decent linebackers, more than serviceable. Their safety group, I think. Who they have? They have Diggs, right? Diggs' brother.
Yeah, they have Quandre Diggs. Or Quandre Diggs.
He's pretty good. He's not bad.
He's good. To pair with Surtain.
He's a dog. He's a dog. I can't say I like him because he's a Cowboy, but I like the way he plays. But they're gonna add like Surtain probably, or maybe even Farley, and then I'm gonna say Surtain though. They're gonna go Alabama because that's the right thing in my opinion. I don't know. Going wide receiver, probably not the smartest thing to do for us, but I can see us going Waddle or Smith. A lot of people are out on it. A lot of people think defense now. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be so sure as Howie Roseman.
I think if they're still there.
He could even fucking trade back again, dude. Like, he traded back once. He could trade back to, like, 16, 17, 18 to get a second pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At that point, though, I wouldn't be confident on him hitting a pick if he trades back away from 12. At least at 12, like, there's going to be, like, Micah Parsons, I doubt it, but he might even fall.
He could, when you look at the teams in front, that they have him predicted out of the top 10 now because of how many QBs are projected to go in the top 10 now.
And I don't think there's any way Kyle Pitts falls, but if he does, I guess I wouldn't be that mad if the Eagles took him at this point. Like,
at 12, yeah.
I guess I just keep hearing about how sick he is, so everybody keeps saying they're honestly raving about him. People know more college football than me. I don't watch crazy every Saturday, but people keep going, hey, he's arguably the best player out of the draft. So if he's really that good and he's there, but he's not going to be. It's going to be.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be either. I think
it's going to be like Jamar Chase than him.
People, the hype that's surrounding him now, I think it's going to kind of force the hand of some of those teams in the top 10 to take him.
And now I think Carolina's still in the top 10.
Yeah. They could
trade
out
Sam Darnold. They just got Sam Darnold. No, they ain't trading out unless it's like a little bit back. And then, like I said, they'll get a second.
Yeah.
That would be worth it then, because I know Matt Rule knows his shit and whoever else is drafting down there, because they had a nice draft last year. They got Jeremy Chin, which is would have been a nice pick for the Eagles, but took Jalen Hurts.
It's a goddamn shame.
Yeah, it's a goddamn shame. But I mean, we'll see, dude. I don't trust Howie. I have no reason to trust Howie. I don't know why people like the only reason I got hyped for why they traded away that crazy pick was because they got a first next year. So if Jalen Hurts works out, then whatever, you got 3 picks to build around him next year. If he doesn't work out, you either got 1 or 2 picks, trade up, use some leverage, and grab a quarterback next year, whoever's coming out, or I don't know. That's
Sure.
really the only reason. That's the only reason why I kind of was like somewhat hyped about the trade. But besides that, this dude can eat a dick. I hate Howie. I don't hope he fucks up the draft, but
Right
if he
now,
does,
they're just
hope he's.
I don't know. They're just making these signings that are just like they're giving these dudes 1-year deals just to try and like let them prove themselves.
Trying to be relevant.
It's all just proving these dudes that are trying to fight for big contracts next year. Jordan Howard, Eric Wilson, Anthony Harris, like they're trying to stay relevant, but these aren't moves that are going to propel them past like a Washington, who I personally think is going to win, who could win the division again, or past Dallas's offense, or past the Giants' offense at that either.
I think Dallas is probably in the division, depending on Dak, but I don't trust Washington until I see their QB situation play out. You know what I mean? And God knows the Giants pick right before us, which is horrible because it's our division rival picking right before us.
They both do, Giants and Dallas now.
And the Cowboys pick right before us too. So it's like, motherfucker, we're going to have this player drafted right behind them.
Just like last year.
Getting compared to. So Howie's putting us Eagles fans on suicide watch. So
yeah, for sure. Other than that, I mean, that's really all I want to talk about for the Eagles because I think right now there's not much. We can't predict much, but our projections are definitely going to come out because I want to do a little more reading on the players just in case we do trade back a little bit. Is there anybody that he can hit on at like those 17th, 18th, you know what I mean? Or if he trades out of the first fucking completely and try and take 3-4 picks, you know what I mean? But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I just wanted to do one hot take this week. It's completely irrelevant. It's about the Phillies. My hot take is that if the Phillies team pitches like this and bats like this, we're going to win the division.
I'm with it. I think it's very, very possible. I don't really have a hot take. I'm not going to bring politics into the thing, but what the MLB did with the All-Star game and Atlanta is bullshit, especially on a weekend when you're supposed to honor the greatest, the all-time home run king. I don't want to call him the greatest home run hitter. I guess he technically is because he has the most ever, but it was a weekend that was supposed to be dedicated to Hank Aaron, and then you move it out of, I don't know, you get rid of the All-Star game in Atlanta because of some voter ID bullshit, and when you need ID to get your ticket stubs anyway, none of it makes sense to me. I'm mind-boggled.
None of it does.
Atlanta, they're a disgrace right now. Manfred, you're a disgrace.
Yep. I completely agree. And they move it to Denver, Coors Field. So I don't know. I was thinking more. I didn't think they were going to move it to Denver. I think if you were going to do something like how they were honoring Hank Aaron, I figured they were going to move it to like a Kansas City, or they were going to move it to like, I don't know, somewhere like a Milwaukee, because Hank Aaron played Milwaukee for a little bit, and then Kansas City is where the museum is for I think African American baseball players is in the museum for them is in Kansas City, so that would have been a really good place for it.
And I don't know if Colorado's one. Like, I'm trying to get political, but like, it's just how stupid the MLB is. Like, so you take it out because of like the voter ID thing, but like, there's only like 14 states without that you don't need voter ID or whatever. Yeah. You don't need ID for voting, and out of like those 14 states, I don't know how many states it is, but like, I'm pretty sure like over half them don't even have a major baseball team.
Yeah. So
it's just
like, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. We obviously everybody wishes sports would stay out of politics, but that's how it is now. People are trying to use the platform as a talking spot, but you know how we are. We don't like to get into all that stuff, so we'll stay out of it as much as we can. But I'm super excited. I hope everybody liked the episode this week. It was our first week back after taking a week off for Blake's birthday. So thanks for everybody. Like, subscribe on everything, social media, listening platforms. And don't forget that new shirt that Blake has on, Heart of Philly. Hit this dude up. I don't know how many shirts he has left of this one and the Fanatic blue. But, bro, them shits are fucking fire. And
Yeah.
I don't know. We were posting it. We were trying to sell his ass out real fucking quick. But if he didn't sell out, hit him up because them shirts are the shit. I know he has, like he said when we had him on here, he's got more stuff coming. He likes to stay with the trend. So what teams are playing, he tries to throw shirts out with those teams that are, you know, at that right season. But sell those fucking shirts out. Hit him up on, like last week, his Instagram and his Facebook, and just fucking snag them bitches because, hey, they sell out fucking quick. Other than that, Blake has nothing. I got nothing.
Okay. Go Phils.
See you guys next week, hopefully with a guest. That's our thing. We're trying to get guests now. So like, subscribe, and we out.